Okay, so here are the boxes, the storage boxes. They're all numbered. There is a cover sheet, which I'm going to show shortly, what the cover sheet looks like, which identifies the contents and it categorizes them. So it does make for some nice, neat cataloging. The number sequence does not necessarily represent a chronology sequence, but in fact is in a numbered sequence with regards to acquisitions. So the number sequence chronology does not line up with a chronology of the contents. You see it's nicely organized. Everything is numbered and labeled. And I will also mention that all of this is in a Microsoft Access database. And the descriptions are fairly thorough. Now the only question is whether this will migrate to other platforms. So I'm coming around to the last side here. This first area of these storage bins, this stuff has not been cataloged, so it's just going to stay here where it is for now until that can be done. But here's the remaining storage boxes. They're all numbered. Now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to show you an example of what can be found as far as the content. Now this first box, number 161, you can see the cover sheet identifies the box number, general description, location, category 1, category 2, category 3, item description. Now, for example, this is why something like this could be important. Now the date of this document, 2007. And this is an environmental impact statement supporting documents with regards to pending policy, Clean Water Act material. This is in support of some either legislation or policy. But if you notice here, this is an inventory of bird spring arrival and fall bird departure, which would be, I think, important to a researcher, particularly with the impacts of climate change. A lot of this is starting to becoming documented in all areas. Now this next box over here, this is box number 133. Now this one is interesting. So the data materials are 1991 to 1996. Now this involves a lawsuit, the Adirondack League Club against the Sierra Club. This was the issue, was very high profile in New York State with regards to public access through private property on waterways which are deemed to be navigable waterways. And there was some argumentation that went on for several years with various and assorted appeals through the court systems. What is a navigable waterway? So these are depositions, transcripts, prior case studies. This is a very important piece of archival material, which actually was just recently accessed and used on those court cases. So now, it's not to say that everything here would be a candidate for transfer to, say, for example, the New York State Library. Some of it is very important, like those two examples that I just showed you with the bird inventory and the navigable waterways case. But a lot of this stuff is material that is unique to the Adirondack Mountain Club that would really not be of too much interest to researchers, casual interest on part of the general public with regards to the forest preserve or other related matters. Now that percentage is hard to determine. I was not party to the inventory of this material, but if I were just to venture a guess, I say at the most half of what you see here would be important material that needed to be preserved and possibly added to the collection of the New York State Library. The remaining stuff that's very club specific would remain here. So I think the first step would be to determine whether this is a possibility of having this material transferred and cataloged by the New York State Library, and then deciding how much of this would actually go to the New York State Library. So in total, I think we're looking about, judging by the numbers here, approximately 200 boxes. They're all numbered, all very carefully categorized on the cover sheet for each box. And then, of course, that material that has been added to the Microsoft Access database. So that's it. Just wanted to give you all a kind of a sense of what we're dealing with here. Is about 200 of these boxes. That's the highest number that I was able to find. And of that content, possibly half of this would be deemed to be important. Now, also one thing to note, some of the boxes are full all the way, but some of the boxes are not. They might only have just a few folders in them, or items or pieces of paper. So they're not all chock full, though I would say most of them are. So it does vary. So we're going to sign off now, and hopefully this video has been useful. Thank you. Bye.